What up, my North County fam? I'm your girl Kelly, here to give you the rundown on what happened in St. Louis County government this past week, and here's what you need to know. So first, will the county council resume meeting in person in the chamber or not? So there was a committee of the whole meeting on Tuesday to discuss if their meetings will remain virtual or not. After the let me be professional. After the Omicron variant wreaked havoc, throughout the area in January, resulted in, this huge spike in cases and hospitalizations. The council, they've been meeting virtually. And the plan was to do so for 3 weeks and then come back, look at the numbers, and then kind of decide from there if they would go back to meeting in person or stay meeting virtually. And so this is that 3 weeks is here. So they met to discuss again what the next steps were. So the health department's recommendation, this is what they said, and I quote, "While we are moving in the right trajectory, we're not there yet." So they feel like the meeting should continue virtually. And so when they say we're not there yet, what does that mean? Like, what numbers does St. Louis County need to be at before they recommend resuming in-person meetings? So their response: when the county meets the CDC's moderate transmission category consistently for 2 weeks. And the moderate transmission category means 10 to 50 cases per 100,000 folks and a COVID-19 testing positivity rate of 5 to 8%. And as of February 14th, y'all, the county is at a 7-day case rate of 176 per 100,000 folks and a COVID-19 testing positivity rate of 16%. Yeah, y'all, it's still hella high. We ain't quite there yet. So there was a bit of discussion between the council members about should we go back to in-person or not. And the final verdict is that the county council, they will continue to meet virtually, and then they'll come back again within that 3 weeks time frame to reassess, look at the numbers, and then, make another decision. And the only reason why I am bringing this up, y'all, is because that means that the residents, St. Louis County folks, can make comments virtually for 3 weeks, which is a huge advantage compared to going to Clayton on Tuesday, rush hour traffic. So I'm just saying, if you want to express any issues that you have with your government, this is kind of the best time to do it. You got 3 weeks, and you can literally do it from your home. So that's all. The next thing you need to know, the second thing, y'all, the ARPA saga, of course, it continues, right? So for people that ain't aware, St. Louis County is slated to receive $193 million in American Rescue Plan Act federal funding, aka ARPA, and the coin is directed towards supporting entities, including local governments, that have been adversely impacted by the pandemic. So as of now, about $100 million of that $193 million has been appropriated, aka earmarked, to be spent. So where will the coin go? So $80 million will go towards revenue replacement. $10.9 million will go towards COVID testing, vaccinations, etc. $5.1 million will go towards justice services premium pay. $5 million will go towards rental assistance. $1 million will go towards administration and legal expenses. And $875,000 will go towards vaccine gift cards. So there's a bit of discussion because there's quite a few bills that are in the perfection phase. And perfection is like right before you get to final passage, y'all. So these bills in perfection are requesting ARPA coin. So one of those bills is requesting about $4 million to make upgrades to St. Louis County's emergency dispatch system, which I've heard is hella outdated. So Councilwoman Dunaway, who sponsored the bill, was like, look, I don't even know why this bill is still needing to be perfected because it should have been passed like yesterday. Councilwoman Webb reminded her that that bill, as well as others, are still on the perfection calendar for two reasons. Number one, to give Deloitte, the consultant they're working with, to make sure St. Louis County is in compliance with the feds requirements and spending this money to make sure they give their A-OK when it comes to just making sure that these expenses are in compliance with the feds requirements. So that's one reason. And the second reason is because they're working with this consultant, Deloitte, in developing a survey that will be distributed throughout St. Louis County to get county residents' input on how they feel the coin should be spent. And she's like, look, sis, if we spend all this money that's being requested, we ain't gonna have none left. And then what will be the purpose of this survey? Councilman Tracus, he agreed to continue holding those bills, again, until that survey gets out and residents can provide their input on how these coins should be spent. So, the burning question is the timeline. So when will this survey, when will it hit the streets? Yeah, y'all, there's still, during the meeting, there was no definite date given as far as when the survey would hit the streets, but we know that the survey, it will be available for people to complete it for like a month. It'll be open for a month. So obviously to be continued on this, y'all, because I keep y'all posted on this. And I'm going to do a shameless plug. Yes, I am, y'all. I'm going to do a shameless plug. So real quick, Evolve is spearheading an effort. It's called the Closed Mouths Don't Get Fed campaign to make sure that when the survey drops, North County shows up and shows out by filling out the survey. Because as we all know, closed mouths don't get fed, okay? And North County is long overdue for investment. So hit us up at 314-EVOLVE if you want to get involved in our efforts. And the final thing y'all need to know, yes, it's the legislative corner. So speaking of ARPA, 3 bills were passed approving the spending of ARPA coin to provide premium pay to certain county employees. And I mentioned this last week because these bills were perfected. So they were up for final passage and they were passed. So to kind of jog your memory, $202,000 was approved to provide premium pay for certain employees in the Department of Administration. $271,000 was approved to provide that premium pay to certain employees in the Department of Revenue, and $150,000 was approved to provide premium pay to certain Department of Transportation and Public Works employees. And this was like maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. I spoke at length about a bill tweaking the requirements of St. Louis County's Minority and Women-Owned Business Enterprise Program. So that bill was finally passed during Tuesday night's council meeting. There was also a bill passed accepting a $500,000 grant from the Land and Water Conservation Fund and appropriating $500,000 in matching funds through St. Louis County's Department of Parks and Recreations to support the renovation of Kinloch Park, which I know I spoke about this maybe a week or a couple weeks ago. So yes, y'all, that is a $1 million investment into Kinloch Park. And lastly, but certainly not least, there was a bill passed accepting a grant of up to $125,000 to support police functions related to the reduction of drug trafficking. That's all I have for y'all this week. Please stay safe. You'll see me soon. Peace.